Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This looks like a great rack. I've got the blank. It's a balanced rack, no duplicates. Surely I have a bingo. So I have amusing with the blank as an S, but that's a very useful floater. I'd like to find a bingo with a less useful floater. I noticed that I've got ing. I'm wondering if gorming is good. Let me just see if that's good, because if it is, I think it'll be worth playing. Yes, it is. And the reason I preferred that play is that G duplicates a tile already on the board, so I'm not providing opponent with an additional letter through which they could bingo through. Wow, look at this. I've drawn the second blank, and the rest of the rack not too shabby. I think Oratrix is good. Wow, and gorming doesn't allow that to play. How irksome. Could there be another bingo here? Let me just briefly consider the floaters in case anything comes to mind. No, let me squiz through the alphabet for a similar reason. Maybe opponent will provide a spot for Oratrix. I'm looking for sevens as well as eights. Double R is problematic with the X. Airprox. Wow, that's good as a 7. And it plays. Unbelievable. I wasn't expecting that. Now, that's Oratrix. Let me just finish this exercise as I'm close to concluding it. Yep, so just Airprox and Oratrix. Has opponent blocked those possibilities? And quite possibly they have. Let me consider Airprox. Yep, that's been blocked. Ina, not good. Only S goes in front of KI. And Oratrix. Oh, wow. Yep, opponent has blocked both bingos. What about these 2-letter sets? Nope, not seeing anything through them. Okay, well, let me deal with the X. I'd like to get rid of O, R and X. I may not be able to do that. Wow, very slim pickings for the X on this board. I'd like to hit a triple letter square, but I think this is the only one available. Double R isn't terrible. 25 points. Can't see a way of getting more than that. I am providing a fairly easy scoring spot in column 11, but if opponent doesn't have an I or a U, well, I do. Is this the play? I notice that I can play the same tiles underneath gorming. For 20 points, that's 5 fewer points, not providing an X scoring spot. Yeah, I think I want the extra points. I'm going with this. Okay, well, 1E certainly helps the rack. Does the second E scupper bingo prospects? Surely not. I hope I didn't have a playable bingo with that last turn, but we'll find out later. So I have Grecia in column 4. Surely there's a play in row F. Biger takes an E. I've got one. So let me consider sevens with this rack. So I have Arriere. which is quite nice. I think this is the spot that's going to score the most. Ariad doesn't take an S. A few tiles can go above the R, but not the big ones, as in the big four. Yeah, and I'm not providing vowels next to premium squares. I'm going with this. Now, no duplicates, balanced, but too many scoring tiles to have realistic prospects of bingoing. I do have the ISH ending. Always mindful not to discount a bingo too quickly. But I'm not seeing a 7. Not seeing anything with the G, and that's pretty much it. There's 2-letter floaters, NU, UM, KI, and EN. So I'm not seeing anything. I've got 3 big scoring tiles. I'd like to play off all of them, or at least 2. Bothy would get rid of all of them. That currently plays in row L. Ob takes EIOS. Great, only 36 points. That's a fairly standard score. Warty takes an S in front, but I don't want to burn my S unless the score justifies it. So I can play Bothy in row F for a humble score. Let me see what the score is. 20 points, that's pretty lame. Can I do better? Only a G goes in front of NU. There's no scoring opportunities, bottom left. Column 12 is a scoring opportunity, but I don't have any BR something plays, which get a big tile doubled. I don't have to play off all 3. The H is bingo-y, so a play of BY. Aha, what about just doing this? Hoist is quite a nice 5-letter set, especially with this S lane. 20 points is lame, but I'm not seeing anything better. Yeah, I'm just looking in row 6, but I don't have anything which goes after UM apart from the S. Well, I could play boy in row I, so this is 20. What about this? 1 fewer point. BY takes an E and an S, so I was providing an opportunity for opponent. This just provides a ladder, and I lead. And I'm keeping available column 12 for S bingos, so I'm not bothered about removing the warty front hook. Yeah, I don't think the O is a great tile to have. Drawing a duplicate O or I would significantly reduce the bingo prospects with this rack. I am going with this. Wow, if only I'd kept that O. This is awful. So I can sort the rack out. I can play height and hen. Wow, dreadful pick. I do have a G for new. So no, height doesn't play in that spot. I could play Thig. Just wondering if there could be a bingo here. There's a floating E in the open. Highest leaves an extra T. Thighest not good. Height's not going to score very much. Maybe worth burning the S to play heights and obs. Let me just check these scores. So height would be 20. Height's 33, an extra 13 points. That would be worth doing. The X has been played. and QI wouldn't play next to this I. Boy takes a number of post hooks, but NU restricts the likelihood of them being used. So thigh is the anagram of height. That would be a better play here. 23 points. Yeah, I think I would like to hang on to the S. The S is worth about 8 to 10. So I'd need to score probably 13 or 14 more points by burning it. Well, let's see what thighs scores down here. 39 points. And that was 23, so it is worth playing thighs in column 12. I lead by 100. Opponent taking a while with this play. A new pair of letters available for a 9-letter bingo. But I don't have one with this rack. So I have sight as a component part of a word with hot. I think thiggish is, well, I'm not sure about that, but it's only one T. Now, opponent spending a lot of time. Do they have a bingo? Both blanks have gone. And do I have an alternative to thighs? Interesting, thighs actually plays here. That's 32. Preserving the S. And the S only adds 8. So that was 32. And this is 39. Yep, thigh in row F. A better play. Wow, it's amazing how many opportunities are afforded by the board. Great, just 14 points after all that wait. Let me see what height scores. Here, 34 points. Well, I think this is the play. Thigh for 32. Gosh, my vowel drought continues after playing that precious O. And no scoring tiles on this rack, so I'm going to struggle to score. But I could play dirt and at. Is there... Well, that's going to leave LST not the best rack leave in the world, and dirt is a lowly score. But row L is a hot 5-letter lane, especially if a J or Z were to land on this double letter square, so dirt would be restricting opponents' scoring opportunities, which I'd like to do because my lead is only 120 points, and there's still 47 tiles to come. Now, do I have a bingo through the E? Dirtlet's not good. Nope, not seeing one. What about the Y? I have the LY ending. No. Okay, so opponent does bingo, and I'm not in a position to respond. Great bingo of Firepot. FP bingos are few and far between and difficult to spot. So my lead now, just 40 points. And the floater in column 15 is precisely the tile I have got duplicates of. So I can't do much about that. Wow. What to do? Tempting to play through the E just to turn over tiles. To increase my chances of drawing a vowel. But is that an overreaction? What about told here? A 5-point stir is a nice rack leave. It goes massively well with literally any vowel. Let me just change this to dolt for the same score. It forces opponent to place a vowel next to the T, and it makes it much harder for opponent to put a high value tile on this double letter square. Yep, I am going with this. So I do draw a vowel. Pretty nice rack. I have mortises through an E, and Dolt has blocked mortises. Well, Firepot blocked it. So anagrams of mortises. Ooh, wow, 57 points. Brutal. That certainly didn't work out. And I trail. Wow, how things change. My lead of 120 points has vanished. Now, is there really no anagram of mortises? And it would need to begin with E, so I'm not seeing it. T is available for bingos ending ST. Not seeing one. I have the micro prefix. Nothing in thighs available as a bingo floater, nor is anything in Firepot. Wow, Dolt was brutally punished. However, if I hadn't played there, opponent may have got the J on this double letter square. Now, I am close to a bingo, but I don't have one. And I trail. Do I have a play in column 15, ending OT or IT? Nope, not that I can see. I have Mike here, Mike-O, keeping stir, 18 points. I'm struggling to score much more than that. Opponent, well, that's providing 2 hot spots for opponent. Only 2 R's to come. Almost everything I'm looking at is providing good scoring spots for opponent. And at the moment, we're super close, so I don't want to score very little and then have opponent create space, especially on a board with so few bingo opportunities. This Y is not useful. I don't need to be chasing a bingo just yet. 9 minutes on my clock. So, what about playing Mott? MI does take an A, so I'm not shutting the board down. Opponent could score over the top, but not massively. I'm retaining the C, so I'll probably be able to play in column 4, a play ending CH. I think if I make that play this turn, it's too easy for opponent to score. Okay, I don't feel great about this, but I am going with it. Okay, so nothing with a Y. What about the T? Nope, not seeing anything, and those are the only 2 lanes. Arriere doesn't take anything. Well, there's the E of jute, but I'm not seeing anything. So I can play Wretch, R-E-C-H, leaving Sire as a Rackley, which is pretty good. Not seeing anything in column 15. Oh, wow. Pod takes an A in front and an S, which I've got. But I don't think I have a 7 here. But maybe I should I only trail by 6, so what about playing Criers? 31 points, it's a decent score and it provides absolutely nothing. And this puts me in the lead. Fantastic. And I draw a scoring tile, which is good since the board is non-bingo-y. Amy takes an A. I'm not seeing anything in row D. I would need 2 A's for my and T. T also takes a U. I don't have one. 22 tiles to come. I trail by 20. So the bingo lanes, rows N and O and column 15, and I guess row D. I hope I didn't miss a bingo with Criers. Well, if I did, I did. So I have law, L-A-W, but I think keeping 3 E's pretty bad. Oh no, an opponent scores massively. 53 points, I'm back to trailing. But I do have a play down here, Zeal, phew, 39 points. Now I don't think there's going to be anything better. Or is there? What about our we here? 36 points. However, this allows opponent to score off the Z because they could then play Zatti. I don't want that to happen. And also the W could be useful for score. I'm going with Zeal. Not great, but I dodged the Q and the V's. If opponents got both, they could be struggling. Wow, there is a nice cat spot in row N. One A to come. I've got the 2 A's for row D. WOR not good. ANA is. But I then can't get value from the W. This is a tight one. Only 11 points separating us. No place for the W above thigh. The Q could just be dropped above the I. For 22 points. Now, do I have a play with the W in column 12 at the bottom? I have Ren, keeping 4 vowels. Let me count the remaining vowels. 7 out of 21, it's vowel dry. That could be useful. So 9 minutes on opponent's clock, 7 on mine. 2 massive non-bingo plays by opponent with jute and zoned. And a fantastic bingo of Firepot. Now column 15 still hot. DE is good. So I can play Weaned. I can play... Ooh, can I get my W? Ah, this isn't a D, it's a T, so it's not as hot. Yeah, if it was a D, this would be a pretty hot lane because of ED endings, but 6-letter words ending in T. Far less common, and I'm not seeing one with this rack. I've got weight in row N. 19 points. I'm minded not to play above Mott because any play there will create further opportunities. An opponent may be limited in what they can achieve with a limited number of A's and U's available for my and T front hooks. I've been taking a while on this play. No H's left for a column 2 plays, creating CH. Row N hot if you can get a big tile on this triple letter square. So 25 for opponent, burning an S. 10 tiles in the bag, including the Q and 2 V's, which I don't want. Although I do have the ammo to deal with them. WAE would leave me with a pretty good rack to deal with drawing anything, in particular the Qs and the Vs. Weight provides nothing. It denies opponent the cat spot. 19 points I think is decent. 336. This is going to be so close. Opponent's play hasn't really provided anything. No Ps for PSI. Interesting. Opponent burnt the last U, so could not have had the Q. Maybe, and they drew 4 tiles. Interesting. What if they drew I and N? Is there anywhere for chin? No. Okay, so I think this is the play. Wait for 19. Oh my word, that came down quick. Evocates for 92. Ouch. And opponent empties the bag. Wow, absolutely fantastic bingo by opponent. And it came down instantly, so they had it typed in, ready to play. Gosh, well, I'm not sure there's anything I could have done about that. The bag looked pretty non-bingo-y with the Qs, Vs and F. And I think I need to bingo in response to win. Look at this, I trail by 90, but I don't have a bingo, and there are no bingo lanes. I guess row D with a massive overlap. And can I stick opponent with the Q? So at the moment, well, interesting, opponent's taken out this QI spot. 5 minutes on my clock. Opponent's got chi and chin on their rack and feek onto an H. Is opponent stuck with the Q? I think so. So that would get me 20 points, 356. I still need to make up 70 with my scores over what opponent's going to score with the non-Q tiles. So this is a lost game. Thanks to 2, well, excellent bingos and some other big scores. I do not have 2 A's now for playing over the top of Mott. So I think my best option is to try and end the game quickly to get as much as possible by way of count back. Can't see anything ending in T. I don't have anything to go after double A. Yeah, I think I've just got low scoring options available. So what does prone score? Prone is 20, and I then got Inia and Ami, and this isn't setting up a Q spot. And I don't think Inia, well, it could be blocked, but I don't think it will. Oh, okay, opponent does have a Q spot. And I wonder if that was the only Q spot, in which case I should have blocked it. But I have it in here for 10. And the final score, 388 for me, 446 for opponent, a winning margin of 58 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, I was 120 points up. What happened? It was me to go first, and this was the perfect start with a bingo. Opponent plays nuke. No bingo here, and wow, look at this, nothing over 25 points, which is what I got. Opponent plays Bega, and now I bingo again with Arriere for 74, so this is where I'm in great shape. Opponent plays Warty, and this is where I make the decision to play Boy, keeping Tish, which I thought was okay. Yeah, boy better than hoy because H is more bingo-y. Yeah, none of these scores over 30, so I think boy for 19. Only these higher scores, well, the 30 score burns the S, so really you're comparing 19 to 24. H for gothy. Yeah, but that retains the B. I think boy is reasonable. Opponent plays allo. And now things are still looking good because I have thigh for 32 and I still lead by about 120. However, things change. Fantastic spot by opponent of firepot, and I have this horror show. L1 trilled, creating a second big lane. Might have been worth doing. ST as a decent rack leave. Yeah, instead I played Dolt, simply taking out opponent's scoring options in column 15, and opponent doesn't have a great rack. I'm not sure they do have any way of getting the J doubled if I hadn't have blocked that. But they do now have a great spot with Jute, and I trail. But this rack looks good. But no bingo. Tricot playable in column 15. That's nice for 36. What do? I play Mott for 20. Yeah, which is scoring towards the bottom end of this range. Mike's burns the S. Mitch provides scoring opportunities. So I think Tricot was the best play there. Opponent plays Pod. Phew, I was waiting for a bingo to appear. B13, Creep and Moated. That's nice, 26 points. But I felt that opponent, by playing Pod, had signalled that they had an A or an S. There are still 3 S's unseen. So I quite like my play of Criers for 31. And opponent does have the S. 53 for the Z. But I only trailed by 30. And I can get 39 for Zeal, so I am now in the lead. 14 tiles in the bag. Opponent plays Clues, and at this point I only trail by 14. And I'm not really thinking about opponent bingoing. The pool is non-bingo-y, and very few bingo lanes, and not that many bingos begin with E. So I play Wait for 19. Yeah, and that looks fine. I don't think any of these other options restrict opponent from the bingo. And here we go. This opponent has avocets and octaves and plays evocates for 92 points. A hammer blow. No way back. I play prone. Oh, well, let's just go back to this. When I play prone, well, the options available provided by ISE will not take into account trying to block chins. But let's just have a look down here. Any other Q spots? No, I think this is the only spot for chins and cheese. So maybe I should have played in column 12. So I play prone, opponent plays chins, and finally in-ear for 10 is the only out. So what a game. Absolute roller coaster of a game. Amazing start with Gorming, and then my lead just extended to 120 points, which isn't far off the point where you feel that you're going to win 95% or more of the games, which is probably around the 150 point lead mark. But fantastic fight back from opponent with Firepot, Jute, Zoned and Evocates, and my fortunes changed, but opponent's comeback meant that we were very close, and really it was just the final play of Evocates, a fantastic bingo from a very non-bingo-y pool, which proved too much. But super exciting stuff. Many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.